Hey, it's Nikachu, and today we are going to take a look at MTG card Easter eggs. Here we have Lurgoyf, who's the great-great-grandfather of Tarmogoyf, and it looks like he's munching on some bones, which is equivalent to eating the wooden stick from a popsicle. "Ach, Hans, run! It's the Lurgoyf!" says Safi, Eric's daughter, her last words. What were the moments right before disaster? Well, let's see Safi, Eric's daughter herself. She doesn't exactly look too impressed on her face, especially since it looks like somebody's running away from something. In the blink of an eye, she strode from deep snow to dusty waste. From the crease of light behind her, a voice rang hollow. "Safi, wait for me." Well, look, time is money here, but who's asking to wait for who? Hans Eriksson, enjoying the scenery, loving his day, but obviously completely oblivious to the monster behind him. Nothing could ruin such a fine day, Safi. Oh my god, you know, this is a situation I'd like to say wake up and smell the roses, but it sort of looks like it doesn't apply here because he's already doing this. Now Safi must be thinking, "You big doofus, I basically got eaten up for lunch for nothing." Remember, boys and girls, what grows dies, and what dies grows the Lurgoyf. It's time to go down the lore of the Delver of Secrets. A wizard scientist loves the experiments, especially loves the bugs and the mantises, and then became the insectile aberration. Get your fly swatters out, get the bug spray, that's a big one. Unfortunately, all my test animals have died or escaped, so I shall be the final subject. I feel no fear. This is a momentous night. Laboratory notes, final entry. But dust off those cobwebs, insectile aberration, because you gotta put your lab coat on. As Dr. Octopus would once say, the real crime would be not to finish what we started. So this human insect, back to the lab, back to work. Metamorphosis is a process. Laboratory notes. Remember, there's always room for improvement until you become the perfected form. The final pages of the experiment log were blank. Investigators found it abandoned on a desk in the researcher's lab, open, the pages flipping in the wind from a shattered window. Now you'd think that the lore of the Delver of Secrets would be over, but this perfected form can be adapted. The docent of perfection. Now they're trying to experiment on the humans. The time has come for him to share his findings. But not before the party would be crashed by none other than the Eldrazi. The final iteration of the Delver is now part human, part bug, and part spaghetti. So there's this really weird creature called the Feldegriff. It is this purple hippo with wings. What's going on here? Turns out the name Feldegriff is an anagram for Garfield PhD. Which Garfield, you might ask? Well, Richard Garfield basically turned himself into a flying purple hippo. So be careful who you pick on in high school. You never know who's gonna come back to bite you later, because in the visions of dominance, someone looking very small has some big dreams for him, but watch out! That's a Gitrog monster! So everyone's familiar with the Gitrog monster. This gigantic, mutant, disgusting frog. Eating people alive. Look at the arm is hanging out of his mouth. Where's the origin story? We see it in the visions of dominance. This is where the lore starts. You better be careful who you make fun of in high school, all right? They might look a little cute and small, but one day they're gonna turn into a gigantic mutant creature, eat you alive. They say you have to kiss a few frogs before you find a prince, but in this case you gotta kiss a few toads before you find the Gitrog monster. And an ancestor of the Gitrog monster is the chub toad, which also happens to be a frog. Are frogs and toads the same thing? Are they part, I mean, I'm sure they're part of the same family. Would they be offended to be called toads? Let me know in the comment section below. But anyway, the chub toad has a wonderful flavor text. Chub toad, at the door. Run away quick, or you'll run no more. Which happens to be a traditional children's rhyme. And this tradition would be continued with the Jade Avenger. froggy fighter at the gate. Draw your sword and meet your fate. I'm sure Wizards of the Coast couldn't get the copyrights to the Ninja Turtles, but why do you need it when you can have wonderful Teenage Mutant Frog Samurai? So for this next Easter egg, we need to put our tinfoil hats on, because I'm not entirely sure if this is even an Easter egg. We've got Lonus, Cryptozoologist, legendary creature Snake Elf Scout. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, investigate. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but there's a bunch of key buzzwords in this card, and they're freaking me out. We've got crypto, we've got invest, we've got token, zoo. Does Wizards want us to invest in crypto zoo tokens? You know, something to the effect, maybe those apes? And makes sense that this thing is a Snake Elf Scout, scouting out for that next magic card that's gonna go to the moon. And also the elves. The elves are totally known for pumping their creatures and dumping their hand. Before we know it, we're gonna be buying magic cards on the blockchain. Angel of Flight Alabaster. Quite the story this angel has to tell. She endures without avacyn, but secretly asks each soul she guides if they have seen her. But watch out, she's got a knife! Angel of Finality is in the house. Better the dead depart utterly than be enslaved. What this means is if you start an argument, she's gonna finish it. Her next step, descent into madness, is the Flame Blade Angel. And if you look at that crazy look in her eye, she's giving off vibes like, don't touch my stuff. You must pay for your sin in blood. But her story ends with clip wings. What, are you gonna clip the angel's wings? That seems pretty rude. She came from heaven. It is a grim duty to save the world from those created to protect it. Look, just put her in the drunk tank and she'll be good by morning. So we all remember Sun Titan and its demise to the Terminate. Well, guess what? The Terminate's not going to keep the Sun Titan down for long. It's going to be reanimated with Animate Dead! You know, Sun Titan, I know you were just resurrected from the grave, but you look terrible! You don't even have any skin or muscle on your bones! You have to get out more. Get that sunshine! This is what happens when you lack vitamin D. So next up is Time Warp. This is one of those annoying cards where someone's taking all the turns and not giving anyone else any time to do anything. And the annoyance of this was inspired by the flavor text. Let's do it again, Squee Goblin Cabin Hand, which was a reference to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the musical. Let's do the Time Warp again. Soundtrack available on CD and digital album October 21st. So next up is Urza Saga. Now this is a card that happens to be a saga, the card type. It's got 3 chapters. Now the deal is, this is Urza Saga, the saga, but it was based on the set Urza Saga. The cards were so stupid, broken, and powerful that historically this time period was called Combo Winter. So Urza Saga, are you going to be another broken piece of Urza history, or are you just going to be a cheesy way of finding Sol Ring? So we checking out Tribute Mage, so proud of their sword, shining that thing up. Wait a minute, where have we seen this sword before? This is none other than Sword of the Meek. That's right, the card that buffs up all the weenie little creatures. It's looking out for the little guy. But if Tribute Mage was paying tribute to anything, I think it would be to the old combo between Sword of the Meek and Thopter Foundry. Next, it slices, it dices, it makes julienne fries. It's the Mind Slicer. That's right, it'll cut your pizza, it'll chop up your onions without making a mess, easy to clean. And if you order now, you can get 2 Mind Slicers for the price of 1. But don't worry, if your Mind Slicer breaks, we'll easily send you a replacement through Dread Return. There's the Mind Slicer, just as promised. I'm telling you, lifetime warranty. Order now. Well, that's my video for today. Which of these Easter eggs were your favorite? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash like for Easter eggs and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, or the Mind Slicer will kill you in shipping costs.